Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us for today's webinar, Kick-Ass Tips and Topics to Sell. My name is Jackie Ulloa, and I'm with Metro's Client Services team. I'm being joined by Daryl Davis, our VP of Creative Services, and Laura Cook, Senior Designer. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Jackie.
Just want to mention that we are going to be pausing our videos for now, but we will be back afterwards. So we'll just focus on the webinar here. And Daryl, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to you now.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. And thanks everyone for joining us today for our Tips for Selling webinar. Let's dive right in. Selling advertising in today's media landscape, as we all know, is a challenge. We're outlining some selling steps here on our first slide. From strategizing and planning, identifying and attracting advertisers to developing a plan and implementing it is a process in which relationship building is key. At Metro, we're focused on creating content and tools to partner with you as salespeople in this process. Again, planning and strategizing, developing successful and great looking spec ads, and creating sales proposals for advertisers are all important components for sales success. And while we all know this, we also wanted to know what's working for everyone out there right now. So we launched a campaign with some direct questions. Your most important sales planning tip, your best ad selling tip, best performing feature, most consistent revenue generator, and finally, which tools and assets of Metro's are most helpful for you? First question was, what's your most helpful sales planning tip? The three big responses are outlined on this slide. Uh, Build sales planning strategies using popular themes and seasonal opportunities. Something like Spring Home, for instance, which is always popular and seasonal, as well as unique ideas like a local strawberry festival or a special sales opportunity like our country's 250th birthday this July. You also responded that staying organized and making sure that prospect lists and local business contact info is all in order, as well as up to date. Thirdly, exploring ideas from Metro. Like everything that we provide, idea inspiration is our goal. Ideas for sales, spec ads, your concepts, headlines, design images, anything that can inspire a fresh approach to your sales planning. Check out our search book, our site, spec ads, and page templates, as well as our special sections, and for sure, our success stories. Jackie can walk us through some planning steps on our site.
Thank you, Daryl. Our planning tab is a great place to get started, and you can access it from our mega menu along the very top of your Metro site. Once you select it, you're going to see resources that include your search book, planning and promotional calendar, topics that sell, 12 months of revenue ideas, our marketing e-cards, success stories, and email communications, just to name a few. We do encourage you to use these tools to help you get organized, find ideas, inspiration, and of course, to create prospect lists. And while we're here, I just want to quickly point out our search book over on the left-hand side. We are continuously updating our site, but this would be a convenient way to see new ideas and of course, to get inspired. In it, you're going to find ready to sell page layouts with suggested advertisers in place, as well as spec ads, images, and editorial features. And clicking on any of the pages within the search book will connect you directly to every idea, image, and ad so that you can easily share or download them. And a couple of my new favorites I would say to look out for would be the Secondhand Shopper's Guide. It's a local guide to garage sales and resale shopping, and it also features what readers look for in these sales. And another one is a food truck sampler. I think it's fun, great for a local food event. These are both just fun ways to get people out and mingling in your community. Next up, we've got Metro's planning and promotional calendar. This is a great tool to boost your ad sales. There are hundreds of promotional opportunities here, so you can certainly plan way ahead of time. You'll notice here that we have a year at a glance calendar that you can download, and you can select any of these months in order to view monthly, weekly, or daily events, including the best sellers. You can also click here to view the printable calendar. So in this example, we are featuring our July calendar, and you're going to notice that July is National Grilling Month. In this case, you want to think about which prospects would benefit from promoting this event. In addition to your food and grilling equipment retailers, consider outdoor furniture shops or contractors for outdoor areas. It could be cooking areas, decks, patios, and so on. Then you just want to search in Metro Creative Connection for content on any of those to then present to your advertisers. So you're walking in with something. You could even add a heading for the specific event to tie it all in, and we have thousands of headings for you.
Jackie, let me just jump in here and say this is a good reminder of, as a salesperson, when you go to follow up with an advertiser, instead of just generic follow-up, how are you doing about your decision to do that? Come in with something specific, a specific concept, something exciting, and maybe in this instance, if you were visiting a prospective advertiser that would use grilling content, talk about Grilling Month. But Metro is a great resource for this kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we've got topics that sell. These will bring up top selling ideas, and you can use this page to plan for the month ahead as well as all year. You notice we've got both monthly events listed here as well as yearly events. And by the way, these do get updated frequently, so you want to make sure that you keep coming back and see what's new here. I think it's perfect if you're looking for ideas or even if you know what you want to do, but maybe you don't know exactly how to do that. So, and you'll see what I mean in this next slide here. All right, so you basically just want to click on any event that you're interested in. In this case, we're showing you the World Soccer Tournament for the upcoming World Cup. Um, and once you do that, you're going to find related content, which consists of print templates, photos, illustrations, web ads, and editorial content as well. And you'll notice some neat watch party ideas, which again is another nice way to get your community out, get people out of their homes, and just share a good time.
I think this is a great example of looking at for content on our site, focusing on a topic that sells, looking at these stripes with templates and photos and illustrations, web ads, digital, editorial. It's a great presentation, a thorough presentation, and just as a reminder here. Events like the World Cup, FIFA World Cup are owned and protected by really strong copyrighted intellectual property guidelines. So we don't recommend using any direct mentions of those kind of copyright protected events. At Metro, we're sensitive to these and all copyright and usage issues. Everything that we provide is copyright free and copyright covered, so you can feel comfortable using it.
Next up, we do have our 12 months of revenue ideas, which include coordinated content to sell print, digital, and social media advertising throughout the year. And here are some ideas for June and July. You simply want to click on any of these to access any of the coordinated content here. And as an example, you can check out our neighborhood connections. Um, this is perfect for a variety of local businesses, and the ads are all focused around welcoming new residents and building community. So below here, you can see a sampling of what's included. You'll see a nice variety, including a coupon page, a directory page. You've got social media posts, web ads, and so on. So definitely make sure to check these out.
And one more thing, Jackie, I just want to jump in and say, we all hear local, hyper local community, and we're going to be talking about that a lot today and a lot moving forward. But It's really just become so important to be able to engage your local community as it always has been, but now more than ever.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so our success stories. Here's yet another way to get inspired, and we've got an archive of stories on how peer publications have generated revenue. And again, you can find these all within that planning tab. And each of these stories will come with three bullets. You've got create, sell, and profit. We also include contact information for the person that's provided their success story in case you have any follow-up questions. And also, most recently, we have been adding the issue to their publication. So you can find that all within the PDF. On the right here, we are illustrating three great stories. One of them is a keepsake section on local graduates. We've also got a subscriber only puzzle and activity book. And our latest story here is a Decatur Daily's Living 50 Plus. It's their bi monthly lifestyle magazine. And in addition to all of their local stories, they use Metro features to tie in local advertising, like the Good to Know page here, providing healthy lifestyle tips, and 100 years ago this month, which, by the way, are all available to our Metro subscribers. Their advertising assistant, Jessica Powell, explains how features like these engage readers and even sparks conversation. She also mentions the pages are exclusively sponsored, giving businesses an opportunity to attract focused attention. And she also gets into how these advertisers benefit by expanding their brand's message to more than just the company logo. So be sure to check out the full story and their issue. Oh, and while we're on the topic of Living 50 Plus, I did want to mention that we have a special offer, buy one, get one free for our themed special sections, Living 50 Plus and Senior Living. And again, these sections can all be localized.
And again, I just want to mention with respect to these success stories, they're by you and for you. They're actually a fantastic resource for you to share with prospective advertisers. I think they're a great resource all around. I know I am actually a reader of my hometown newspaper where I grew up, and they have a 100-year feature, and it's always fascinating to, pop in and read about what's happening in my local hometown 100 years ago, which happens to be 1926, during Prohibition. So the stories are great. And again, a reminder that this content is all available on Metro for you.
Yeah, and what makes it special is just giving it that local touch. So you can definitely do this with all of our content.
Our second question, what is your best selling tip? The top four are indicated here on the slide. So first off, optimally arranging an in-person meeting is great. Some of your own advice is to be personable, stay genuine. This is really important. I think be excited about your own content in your own publication. This kind of thing that rubs off on a prospective advertiser. When you're excited about what you're doing, they can get excited about advertising with you. Stress the reach of your paper. Also important. See how many people are getting this information, how many people their ad could be exposed to. Um, Obviously important to building relationships. You as salespeople are building relationships with advertisers and prospective advertisers who in turn are building their own relationships with their customers. So it's really a top-down approach that needs to succeed on all levels. Another important part of this is knowing your advertisers' branding, colors, themes, slogans, and strengths. What works for them helps you tailor your proposals and strategies. Excuse me. Consistently, a trend that we've noticed seems to be connecting with readers, and that's personalized images of staff, owners, a local family-owned business, team photos. Um, we were in Saratoga at the New York Press Association conference a couple weeks ago and noticed parked outside of our hotel a van and a truck, which was for an HVAC company. It featured the an image of the owner, his family, and their dog on their van and their truck with a really strong logo and slogan. And we were thinking, like, what better way to localize and brand a local service than that? Also, making the focus local and community based, as I just mentioned, is essential in today's climate. We were in Austin, Texas, at America's Newspapers mega conference recently, and we sat in on a great panel discussion about local papers, which have begun sponsoring monthly book clubs, talks with local authors, and having community meetings. Attendees in turn donated money to the local papers because they're concerned about preserving journalism and ensuring continued government oversight and other local concerns. Again, as salespeople, this is a great movement to keep an eye on, involve your advertisers in, and solidify local relationships with community members. Continuing on with your best selling tip, presenting a great looking spec ad is also key. More on that shortly with Laura, our senior designer. Going for the upsell, longer ad runs, campaigns, digital ads, social media add-ons. We'll share more about these shortly as well. And finally, I loved this one. Contact everyone. As salespeople, it's best to cast a really wide net for prospects because you never know who's going to respond. Laura?
Yep. So presenting a spec ad is a well-used and highly effective ad sales technique. Spec ads are known to help in making a sale with stats as high as 47% increase in selling revenue when you use a great looking spec ad. That spec ad can really start a conversation. You're walking in with a visual of what an advertiser can buy. You're not promising them something, you're actually showing them something. And if you have a great looking, well thought out spec ad that's tailored to that advertiser, you can position yourself as a partner in their marketing strategy. You've come up with this great idea for them and are presenting it to them, and that can really build that relationship from the start. We have thousands of spec ads to look through at Metro. You could look through them for layout ideas, advertiser ideas, copy ideas. You can drop them into our wizard ad generator and enter in a business's name or logo and use the spec ad as is. Of course, you can always download the working documents, InDesign and Cork files, but our PDFs are actually layered. So if you download one of the PDFs of our spec ads, you can drop that into any design platform to edit. You don't have to open InDesign or Cork. So try downloading a PDF and drop it into whatever design platform you use. Next, I just want to go over a few elements of great looking spec ads so you can have things in mind as you're having an ad put together to sell. So you can create a great spec ad with these very simple steps. The basic goals of any ad are to attract attention, communicate a benefit, and get the reader to act. When creating a spec ad for a specific advertiser, you first want to get to know the prospect. What is the business's style, vibe, colors for that visual effect? Research what kind of advertising they've done in the past. It's good to read business reviews online of the prospect. One of the sales tips that came in from our feedback survey was to uncover a customer's needs and sell to those. By finding out what people like and dislike about the business, you can create an ad strategy to combat the bad reviews and to highlight what people like. So it's a good way to research a business. Also, it's a good idea to think about what kind of budget the business has. Just estimate that so you can tailor your ad proposal in a way that won't overwhelm them. It might seem too far out of their budget if you go in with too big of a number, and they might immediately say no because it's so out of their range. I put together a checklist of what makes a great spec ad. So things to look for. Does your ad grab attention? Is the ad effortlessly readable? Does it have a benefit? Does it tell the consumer how to respond? And does your ad give clear business information? I go into detail on all of these points in a single sheet that we're going to send out after the webinar and also have available on our site. So you can get more into that. Quickly, I want to go through 10 key elements to think about in your ad design. So first, the visual hierarchy, top to bottom, images and text. A great rule of thumb for thinking about the balance of your ad is the rule of thirds. So breaking your ad into three parts. The top is attention grabbing, image and headline. The next is the subtext. And third is the business information. Number three, I have there a strong visual. Images are very important, and an image that can bring up a feeling is most beneficial and can have a long-lasting memory recall. In this case, we're hoping that the feeling that comes up is hunger for this burger ad. The typography is working well with the ad style and the type of advertiser. There's a call to action by number 5 there. The deals all may. The colors that are used, the red and the green, are working together well. The red is sort of signifying the red meat of a burger, and green highlights the fresh element of the burger's lettuce there. And green can help can make the ad feel a little healthier. We have concise copy in the center of the ad, and you allow enough white space around the text to have it breathe. And finally, the logo, branding, and relevance of the ad. So in this case, a restaurant that sells burgers and it's Burger Month. So these are just some design fundamentals to think about when you're selling your ad and you know you have a great looking spec ad to present. Another selling tip that came in was to offer relevant tie-in content to strategically place advertising. So pairing editorial features with advertisers can offer a stronger sales pitch by guaranteeing ad placement next to content that's going to match the advertiser's target market. I'm showing a few examples of our ready to sell editorial templates here. All of them have advertiser suggestions, and they're visually appealing to hopefully draw a reader in. And it is themed content that can be sold to relevant advertisers. So they're drawn in by the content, and then the relevant advertisers are right there to promote their businesses. We offer these layouts in two sizes, so the content will hopefully scale proportionally to fit your page size. All of our editorial content is copyright free. You can edit it any way you need, make it fit your region by localizing it. You can make it more local by adding copy or quotes from an advertiser. And by doing that, you position them as an expert in this information. So edit these layouts to make the page placement most beneficial to the advertiser to make the sale. Going for the upsell was another sales tip that was submitted. I'm sure this is a judgment call for all salespeople, but going in armed with more tricks up your sleeve can't hurt. So pairing a print ad with companion web ads or offering social media mentions as part of your digital package could be beneficial for both the advertiser and your publication. We've heard at more recent conferences that a lot of newspaper social media accounts have been receiving more traffic when the publications are making sure to keep up with posting and communicating through the platforms. So in this example, the soccer example here, you can tell a prospective advertiser that you'll be covering the World Cup and that you'll be tagging businesses in your posts about where to go watch the games. So that can just be an added perk to advertising. Presenting a campaign is a good way to upsell. It can secure a longer ad run. So by showing options of how their ad can be tweaked with each run, that it's going to look fresh every time, but stay on brand. In this example, the image changed and the service is changed as well in each. So these are minor design tweaks, minor copy tweaks, but it's offering more options to keep the ad running and not look just repetitive.
And here's a quick look at how you can easily find these pages and ads. From our mega menu, you're going to hover over ads and templates and go with that first option for spec ad and page templates. Once you do that, you'll see filters for template medium, type, and template size. And then you can expand any one of these to narrow down your results. Just a heads up with template type, it is going to be defaulted to all templates, but you'll see that we've broken these down into 3 groups. We've got specialty ad templates, editorial templates, and marketing your publication. And we've expanded it here so that you can see all the different options that you have available with your Metro subscription. And as we move forward with the presentation, Daryl and Laura will show you more of these examples. Next up, we've got Metro's e-card generator. We had somebody say email everyone, and this is a great way to do it. The way you find these is just by going to the images tab along the very top. Make sure that you have your image type selected to all, and within that image category, you can select marketing, then create an e-card. And here's a sampling of some of the results that you'll see. You basically just want to click on any one of these images to have the option to personalize it. Once you do that, you'll see this window here. And over on the right-hand side here, you just want to click onto where it says create an e-card. That'll then give you this prompt where you can go ahead and plug in your contact information as well as your sales message. Then you simply want to click onto where it says copy card and just paste it into the body of your email. And that should take you less than a minute.
Our next question, what was your best performing feature or topic last year? The top answers, not surprisingly, featured local and community content. Most often, we heard that visitors' guides were the best performing, one of which included a local map that Metro assisted in the making of. A reminder that we can take custom requests and we love helping your concepts come to life. Really, local visitors' guides make perfect sense to present, especially this summer with economic challenges, gas prices that don't look like they're coming down anytime soon. So local guides are perfect to showcase staycations and emphasize local places to visit near your home. Others included Community Choice Awards, Best of sections. Also, local events and seasonal activities seem to rule, proving that it's always good to capitalize on the popularity of local festivals or happenings. Tried and true Christmas special sections, holiday special sections, also proved to be consistent revenue generators. Health sections of all kinds, health and wellness, senior health, particularly breast cancer awareness seemed to do well for you. Metro offers a huge library of sections and titles, from our very special America at 250 templated sections to recipes, health, and shop local content. Jackie can give us a closer look at these.
Yes, thanks, Daryl. Okay, so to access your themed special sections, you can do that from the editorial tab on your mega menu. Once you select theme section templates, if you needed to narrow it down by theme, you do have that filter here where you can easily do that. And by the way, for these, there are 2 options. It is an add-on, but you can subscribe to unlimited access, or if you just want to purchase them a la carte, you can do that too. What's really neat is that you can feature them all in their entirety just by clicking on the cover itself. That'll then bring you to the place where you can find all of the marketing material that's included as well. We have the rate card, and I know that's really popular with all of our customers. It also comes with print, digital, and social media, and this would be for both your readers and your advertisers. Next up, we are happy to announce that we do have some special offers here, one of them being tea time for $85. We also have Celebrate, that's $49, and it's a great season for that now. And I had mentioned a combo BOGO offer earlier, and this is what it consists of. So it would be the senior living section and the living 50 plus. And you can just reach out for pricing on those or to order any of these, and we'll get that to you right away.
Those are great deals, Jackie.
Yep.
So we were just talking about your best performing feature or topic, and related is your most consistent revenue generator. What we found from your responses was that group advertising and advertising paired with content that Laura actually kind of showed us some of that. Editorial content, recipes, maps, puzzles, activities, multi-sponsor listings, and themed directories help a lot of local advertisers jump on to a common theme. As we're showing with this golf content, which also seems to be increasingly popular, um, featuring our special tea time cover. All of our covers, by the way, for me, look amazing. Very professional, very magazine looking, and this one's great. This is at a special price. We have all this amazing golf content, ads, editorial directories, display ads, everything you'd need to put something like this into action. At Metro, we've amped up our offerings in all of these areas of grouped advertising and advertising paired with content. And again, all of our editorial content, recipes, and images are safe, copyright free, and ready to use without concern. All of our Metro content is here for inspiration and to spark ideas for your projects. Here's some more examples and their location on our site. Laura?
Yep. So it seems like the theme in what is generating revenue is theme. Themed editorial, special sections, and directories, as Daryl has said, are working well for sales. And we have so many of these theme templates at Metro. We're always coming up with more and taking requests to fill your needs. These multi-advertiser pages and directories are great for smaller businesses who want to be included but might not have the budget for their own standalone ad. Larger pages can include individualized ads grouped together, like the Watch Soccer layout, and also the Mother's Day gift guide. Those are larger spaces, so you could put a bunch of individually designed ads together on that kind of page. Directories could be sold at an even smaller price or possibly be included as a perk for businesses who already advertise in the Find the Right Attorney or date night directories. Coupon guides are always popular too, and they could be a really great way for advertisers to track their ROI.
And all of these templates can easily be found within that template type library. You want to make sure that you're selecting specialty ad templates and then select directory and multi-advertisers.
I showed some examples of our ready to sell editorial when we talked about the tie-in content for advertisers. And here's a few more examples of our themed editorial pages. Some of these you'll see are very editorial heavy. Others are designed more as infographics. We have lots of template styles based on theme. The key being we want it visually exciting to get the reader interested in the content. We provide 60 plus articles monthly. We don't design page templates for all of them, but the bulk of our editorial content is written under a few different themes each month. So you'll find enough content on one topic to put together a well-rounded group of articles. So for any of these templates too, if you wanted to swap in a different article, that's totally fine too, and you'll find a lot more examples and variety under these same themes.
And you can find these a couple of different ways. From our mega menu, just go to the editorial tab and select ready to sell editorial pages. Or if you're already checking out our ads, just go with the grouping under editorial templates.
And Jackie and Laura, before you jump off this page, I just want to say that we're always open to hearing from you about, some editorial content that you may be looking for. Here we're showing some agricultural stories for kids and family related to farm safety. Something recently that we've been reading a lot about in the media is, America's loneliness epidemic, which is sometimes driven by everyone's focus on social media, women's health, men's health. The infographics here for summer are amazing, but I just wanted to mention that we're always open to hearing from you as well. It's fun for us to kind of exchange our thoughts with things we're reading, so that we can include them for your use.
Yeah, and I have to say that our creative department is really great about listening to your feedback and coming up with a plan to deliver to you.
With themed content, we also have mastheads. Our mastheads are a great starting point to design themed content in your publication. We've really been filling out this category recently because we know that themed content sells. Many of our masthead designs are based on our editorial content. So for themes that don't have full page template designs, you're definitely going to find a masthead starter at least. Um, you can use a masthead on a single page, a spread, create a whole section insert, however you see fit, and based on how much advertising you can sell around that theme. So look through these for ideas and get started on creating some themed pages, which will boost ad sales.
And this is another instance where I just want to mention that, we're also open to suggestions or your needs. A couple recent ones here that we did for customers' requests were boat docking storage services, which is an East Coast shore client, some waterfront dining, food truck sampler. These make great anchor pages for editorial or advertising, and can be included in a run of press situation to identify throughout your paper.
Yeah, and you can find hundreds of these mastheads. Just go to your images tab along the very top. Make sure you select search all types, all image types, and within your image category, you're going to simply select masthead to find all of these awesome options here.
And finally, what are some of your favorite Metro tools or assets? On the next couple slides, we're showing what you told us you love. So that made us happy. The uh, great ideas from our spec ad library. Our template library has thousands of well-designed, inspiring, and dynamic ideas, including amazing house ads, subscription and advertising layouts, and calendar-based templates for local events and happenings. Laura will walk us through some more of this fantastic content.
You told us that you really love our editorial features, whether it's to fill in an article space or look for themed content, or timely content. We're always posting timely things that are current, like this Artemis article, and our World Cup coverage. We post, like I said, almost 60 plus new articles every month, and they're all copyright free and written in-house. So you can edit them, localize them, add copy, delete copy. They're yours to use as you need. We were told our recipes are a hit. We post seasonal recipes monthly. We do, summer grilling, holiday baking. So these are, seasonal and also lots of great staple recipes there. We also create some templated pages for our recipes. As a side note, um, if you're using one of our recipes and you see a cookbook is cited in the copy, that information it has to stay in when you publish the recipe. So just be on the lookout for that. We also have many puzzles, coloring pages, kids' activities, crosswords, mazes, word searches, and we're happy to know that people are using these and utilizing them in their papers. You can download them as individual files, but we also have, fully put together puzzle pages. So these are a big hit, but if you haven't explored them in a while, check them out. We have a lot of new kinds of puzzles. We're also putting in some American themed puzzles for the upcoming 250th event. And we also have some Canadian themed puzzles for Canada Day.
And before we jump off this one, I just want to reiterate that, all of our editorial features are written by real writers. They're not ChatGPT generated or AI generated. We really try to focus on stuff that's capturing the imagination of the country. I think the recent moon landing and Artemis program is a great example of that. Now with world soccer kind of sweeping the nation, that's another thing that we're sure to focus on. So again, we're listening to the media landscape, we're listening to you, and we're generating stuff that is of interest internally as well.
So we also were told that you guys like our seasonal fillers. We've really upped this content, and we were happy to hear that a customer said that it makes for an enjoyable read when they drop them into their publication. These are designed as ad spot fillers. So if you have an advertiser drop out and you have to fill a space fast, or if you need a little extra content to add and fill out a theme, you can drop them in as is. But we also provide these as sponsor ad templates. So you can look through these and think about a potential advertiser who might like to sponsor a public service announcement, like the dangers of vaping ad spot filler you see at the bottom there. You could also use these to start an ad as an expert tip on seasoning your grill. If you come up with an appropriate prospect, that could be used inside of an ad. So we have so many different topics, and we're constantly producing more of these. So use them as you need, as you want. Take out the editorial and create a ad around those as well. Our social media posts range from in-house promotions, community outreach ideas, special announcements, and ways to promote and tag advertiser businesses, which can give that extra boost or perk in your advertising reach and in your advertising proposals. We're happy to hear that people are liking the posts and they're using them. So look through them for ideas, download the JPEG, and upload it to your account.
Thanks, Laura. And I just want to mention one more time, and I know I have alluded to it a couple times, but this upcoming 250th birthday of the United States is, again, a really once in a lifetime opportunity. Not only do we have templated special sections for sale, but we also have included in your subscription all kinds of editorial content, photographic content, graphics, headings, games, puzzles, along with some content that is specifically focused for kids. Our America at 250 templated section, our America at 250 for kids, are really kind of like seeming to hit the popularity button. So check it out. We've also created a section starter for Canada Day this year, along with some great Canada Day content, photos, graphics, headings, editorial, coloring panels, because we certainly don't want our Canadian friends to feel left out as we're partying down here. Jackie, back to you.
Thanks, Darrell. Alrighty, so here's a quick look at our mega menu. Again, this would be the easiest way to access everything that's available to you with your Metro subscription. And we do encourage you to just take 10 minutes, maybe after the webinar, so that you can see everything. From here, something that I want to mention is that you can also sign up for our email communications through the planning tab. It's another way that you're ensuring you're not missing out on any of this. Another thing I want to mention is that if anybody would like to schedule a one-on-one webinar for yourself or for your team, just please reach out to me or customer service. We're happy to do this for you. It's all part of your service with Metro. And if you want to update your passwords, or if you don't have a password or you're unsure of it, just reach out and we'll make sure that we get that to you.
So that's a wrap with our presentation of kick-ass tips and topics to sell here at Metro. We really appreciated everyone joining us today, as well as contributing to the campaign and our outreach to you about what's useful for you now. So thank you again. All of our contact information is here and available on this slide, as Jackie said. There are some additional materials available. And thanks so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.